Good morning, good afternoon, good day, good evening. Wherever in the world you are joining us from right here, right now, I'm so glad to be with you. I'm Charlene. Thank you for joining us on this Lunar New Year. Welcome. Tell me where you're coming in from. Drop it in the chat. I'd love to say hello and good morning. Whether you're joining us here on Insight Timer, on YouTube, or now on Instagram Live, though I won't be able to see that chat. We know that and appreciate the power of sound and frequency to heal, to shift, to change, and to transform. And that is what today is all about. This Lunar New Year welcomes in, it ushers in frequencies, echoes, whispers, suggestions, to shed things of old, to be able to walk anew into a new year. So whether you celebrate the new year on January 1st or this year on January 29th, we embrace this possibility for transformation. So say hello. I'd love to say hi. Oh my goodness. Namaste, Maria. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Linda, good morning. How are you? Oh my goodness. We are in a brand new space. It's a brand new year, brand new space. And so the bowls are singing a little differently. So Jeremy's doing his thing back there, making them sound heavenly. Linda, good morning. Nice to see you. Jane with a Y, hello. Greetings to you as well. Hello, Caitlin. Hello, hello. Amy, good morning. Carolina, good morning. Tanya, nice to see you. Lori, how are you? Michael joins us from the UK. I know Jane's from California. Lori's from Madison, Wisconsin. I don't remember where Amy's from. I should remember that. Jane without a Y, good morning. How are you? Nice to see you, all my friends. Stephanie, good morning from NYC. I trust you're enjoying this beautiful wintry season. Interesting. This is really interesting. So if this is your first time here, welcome. Again, I'm Charlene, and in front of you are 20 chromatically tuned quartz crystal singing bowls. When I say chromatically tuned, I basically just mean that we have all the white keys on a piano keyboard, but we also have the juicy black keys. And by combining these tones together, we actually elicit very different responses, not only in our physical body, but firstly in our energy bodies. You are an energy body. You are an electrical being. This is pure science. This is undetested biology and chemistry as well, actually. You are pulsing, you are alive with electrical impulses of life. In fact, if your heart stops, what do? They apply electricity in order to restart, recalibrate, realign, reignite your system. And we know that energy affects us each uniquely and differently. The vibe that you get when you walk into a room may be different than the person next to you. You may walk in with your partner and think, oh, I don't like to be here. And your partner's like, this is great. Same room, different effect. Interestingly, our vibes also affect others. And one of the reasons that we come together in these live streams is to find ways to realign ourselves so that we can have better balance in how we show up in the world, so that we show up more of a crystal clear expression of our own unique resonance and vibration. You have your own very specific frequency that you vibrate at. It's a combination of all of the tones, overtones that you hear and you can't hear, though they're there, of all of your systems of the body. There are many who can actually perceive these very unique tones, You have your own unique sound that you give off, whether you're conscious of it or not. And one of the delightful things about these bowls is that they help us to realign that frequency, that tone, your inner symphony. And we know that we're influenced by everything that's going on in the world around us. Today we're very much influenced by the new moon. This new moon in Aquarius, it calls us to a point of stillness. Just naturally, it's the nature of it. The dark side of the moon, the darkness of the moon. As she circles the globe. And the effect that this darkness has is it encourages us to go inward, to really reevaluate what we had been projecting out into the world. Sometimes we need to come back in and reevaluate, reflect, so that we can show up more poignantly, more peacefully, more profoundly in the world. If this is your first time here, I'm so glad you're here. There are two things we really like here: emojis and alliteration. So, I invite you to just go ahead and get comfortable. Whether you're seated or if you'd like to lay your body down, that's totally fine. This is your time. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Some really enjoy listening through headphones, which we love and we celebrate. When we do that, a lot of times these bowls actually project what are called extremely low frequencies, or ELFs. And these ELFs, especially when they get down around the 12 Hertz range, which is below audible hearing. Most people only hear down to about 20 Hertz, sometimes as low as 16. But in these lower range frequencies, like 12 Hertz, we actually begin to perceive the vibration by feeling. And science shows us that 12 Hertz actually begins to stimulate. It can stimulate the tragus, which is that little flap on the outside of your ear, that then directly innervates your 10th cranial nerve, or the vagus nerve. It's called the wandering nerve because it touches all of the main systems in your body. And by doing that, you're getting a vagal toning. But that's really accessible. It's much more available to you when we listen through very good quality headphones. So see if you can't. Listen with headphones and see how that jazzes you today. I see there's a lot more saying good morning. Jessica from Portland. Tatiana, how are you? Caitlin, New York represent. Peace. Good to see you all. Yes, Dion, hello, hello. I'm glad you're here. Jessica from Boston. One of the reasons we also take time to connect is that anytime we show up in the world, whether it's Starbucks, a presentation for work or school, a family gathering, or a live stream, we're always emanating. Oh, beautiful. We're always emanating an aspect of our current state of resonance. Because these bowls are made out of quartz, 99.999% pure quartz crystal. And we know quartz is a piezoelectric crystal, which means it can generate an electrical charge when struck, or in this case, rimmed. So these bowls are actually generating electricity. Well, the electricity from the bowls begins to fuse, merge, dance, undulate, hang out with all of the energy that's showing up in this space. Now, you would think that would just be my energy, or the energy of the studio that we're in. Yes, and your energy as well. Your energy is directly influencing me because it's my job to tune into it. You know, you can can tune into someone's vibe when you pick up the phone. They may be on the other side of the world, but you immediately know what's going on, especially if it's a loved one. You can just sense, you can feel it. Quantum physics shows us that your energies begin to intertwine, overlap. Through this thing that Einstein called spooky action at a distance. This entanglement, this deeper connection shows that we're all connected all the time. So not only are the bowls, A, picking up energy through me and you, they're also, B, picking up your vibe. Spooky action at a distance. The third thing, if you're new here, that we really love besides emojis, alliteration, is quantum physics. Welcome. So I invite you, just go ahead, take a deep breath in. Let's settle into the space. Hello, all of our friends. I continue to see you coming in. Jill, Beverly, Anuradha, hello. Joining us from all around the world. As you settle in, just begin to witness your breath. Let's talk a little bit about what is today for many people around the world. Today is the Lunar New Year. It's the first day of a brand new year based on the cycle of the moon as opposed to the cycle of the sun. Predominant in Asian culture and countries, today is a very special day and a very special year because we connect into the frequencies and the energies of the wood snake. Let's talk about that. So the snake, it's the sixth animal in the Chinese zodiac, and it's often associated with intelligence, resourcefulness, introspection. Snakes are known for their ability to shed their skin. It's a natural process that symbolizes transformation, letting go, and welcoming, embracing the new. I mean, who doesn't like a good skin peel? You feel lovely afterwards. In Chinese culture, the snakes are seen as a guardian of hidden knowledge and a seeker of deeper truths. They like to get to the bottom of things. Now, the wood element, like we said, it's the year of the wood snake. The wood element is one of the 5 Chinese elements connected into metaphysics. And wood represents the element of growth, flexibility, like bamboo or a palm tree, like we have in Florida, and strength, like the mighty oak. So the wood energy, it's creative and dynamic, much like the growing branches of the tree that adapt to their environment. They creatively find ways to move through the space, to move around each other. Have you ever noticed how tree limbs will often move between themselves in a big forest area? It's like, imagine just everything grew straight. Nature wouldn't be nearly as beautiful or inviting. So this year, 2025, year of the wood snake, this wood element, it encourages flexibility, ability to move, to shift, like the willow, like the palm, like bamboo, especially in the face of change, as we cultivate long-term goals. So pairing the snake and the wood element, it really amplifies this quality of transformation, of this ability to adapt. And together, the wood snake energy creates an energy that supports personal growth while helping us to navigate even the craziest things that might be going on in the world around us, and more importantly, in our world inside us. And fortunately, fortunately, not unfortunately, no. Everything happens for a reason and can always be to our benefit, so I dare say there's never an unfortunate situation. Fortunately, this energy, it really supports personal growth, which is really what we're all doing, right? You're seekers, you're here. That's why you want to do this. You want to expand, you want to learn, you want to grow. You give yourself this time to come together, to find new ways to be, not only for yourself, but for others in the world. How you show up. How do you show up in the world? So this energy supports that personal growth and helps us navigate life's complexities with a beautiful, calm determination that is uniquely that of the wood snake. So just take a deep breath in, holding that breath in, and just gently let it go. Exhaling out whatever you're ready to release. Again, taking a deep breath in, holding that breath in, feeling your heart relax as you hold that breath in. The heart begins just to soften. You can feel that softening in your chest, even as you're holding in that breath. Before, through your nose, you gently exhale. You notice there's a different pattern, a different feeling that comes when you exhale from your mouth versus from your nose. One generates more of a yawn energy, that ability to direct, to move energy outward. Exhaling through our nose allows us to cultivate more of a softness, a quietness. It's more reminiscent of a yin energy. Witnessing your breath. Let's begin to embrace the mystery and potential of this new cycle. Closing your eyes. Allowing your eyelids to feel heavy, even heavier. So very heavy. And your body goes into a state of pure relaxation. So comfortable, content. Begin to bring your awareness back to your breath, witnessing the natural rhythm of your inhalation and your exhalation. With each inhalation, drawing in the subtle energy of the new moon. It's invisible in the sky above, yet you keenly perceive it. Listen to her quiet whispers, whispers of possibility rippling in the airwaves right in front of you. Beautiful. Taking a deep breath in, holding that breath in. And as you do, you witness the fragrance that you have just taken in of these possibilities before you gently exhale. Curious, you take in another deep breath. Bringing in, witnessing this fragrance. Whether they smell of gardenia, fresh ocean air, roses, jasmine, maybe a musty sandalwood. What do you begin to notice? What smell? Notice that smell as your body relaxes with this craveable, intoxicating scent. Gently exhale again. With each exhale, you release any tension, negativity, allowing it all just to dissipate back into this frequency field of pure potentiality that surrounds you, this ocean in which you sit. If you have a grounding practice, I invite you to begin that now. If not, think, imagine, or feel a beautiful golden cord of light that originates at the base of your spine. That's the area of your first energy center. This first energy center where we feel rooted, grounded, connected into the earth, into the world, into this reality. Allow this golden cord of light to extend down through the floor below you, reaching a point somewhere in the center of the earth where you feel deeply connected, deeply rooted. Actually witness that cord just melt in, lock in, connect. This connection allows you to feel perfectly rooted, coming back into your natural alignment. And as you do, take a deep breath in, holding that breath in, feeling your heart relax. And then as you exhale, see how long you can hold that exhalation. Feeling yourself sinking deeper, deeper, and deeper into relaxation, like you're just gently melting into the ground. Your eyelids feel heavy, heavier with each passing breath, and you're becoming more and more relaxed, more and more deeply connected to this present moment. Bringing your attention now to the center of your head. That very center part of your brain. The seat of intuition. Sometimes you may feel that between your eyes. If you were to rest your finger gently between your eyes and then move your awareness back into the very center point of your skull. This tiny, quiet, still place that connects you to magical potential. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of a lush, moonlit bamboo forest. The once green leaves now shimmer as precious platinum in the night under the darkness of the new moon. The air is cool and damp, carrying the earthy scent of moss and damp stone. As you step into the forest, you feel a sense of peace and tranquility. The tall bamboo stalks sway gently in the breeze, creating a mesmerizing symphony of rustling leaves, the whispers of the wind. You begin to wander deeper into the forest, and you notice an illuminated path The path reflects the glimmer of the midnight stars floating high above, casting magical glints and gleams that seem to dance and sway around you. You perceive that you are encircled by this mystical starlight. Taking a deep breath in, placing one foot in front of the other in your mind's eye, you follow that path as you gently exhale, moving forward. Following the path, allowing it to lead you deeper into the heart of the forest. As you walk, you begin to feel a sense of lightness, of freedom. Maybe it's from the stars overhead. Maybe it's from the peace in your heart. Maybe it's from the quietness in your mind. Your body relaxes even more deeply. Notice these sensations in your body. Any feelings that arise, simply observe them. Nothing to judge, nothing to explain. You are exactly where you need to be right now. As you continue to walk, your body begins to feel lighter, lighter, lighter and more free, like a feather floating on the breeze. There's a softness to your space. This lightness makes you feel as though you could almost lift your arm without even trying. Your arm is just going to raise without your conscious desire to do so. There's just such a lightness in your body. What does it feel like to levitate? That's how light you feel right now. You enjoy this lightness. It's comfortable. It feels like home. Your natural state. Taking a deep breath in, holding that breath in, your heart relaxes before you gently exhale. As you continue on your path in this bamboo-lit forest, the forest is filled with ancient wisdom. You can feel it. You can smell it. You can hear it. And as you walk, embracing this light as a feather feeling, you begin to shed old patterns, old beliefs that no longer serve you. They're not you anymore. This newfound freedom, this new lightness that you're bringing in, you're able to see, to disassociate. That was an old pattern, an old way of being, an old way of thinking. That's not who I am, and you can see that. Think, imagine, or feel these old patterns shedding away. Perhaps in your mind's eye you feel or see or hear these patterns melting, shedding away, like a crickling of a snake shedding its skin, how you'd imagine it to be. Perhaps you feel a release down that grounding cord, allowing these old energies just to melt back into the center of the earth. go of something that is holding you down. You just need the choice to do so. These old patterns, think of them like the leaves of the bamboo, and they just fall to the ground when their lifespan is done, their usefulness has been fulfilled. We don't need to carry everything forever. Imagine these old patterns, these limiting beliefs, as heavy as stones that are just now releasing, and you, as light as a feather, can move beyond these heavy stones falling away, and you feel the lightness and freedom as they do so. If you have any specific images, feelings that come to mind, just witness them. And as you do, see if you can begin to shift any pictures or images, mental or seen or felt, into a black and white image. Take the color out of it. What happens? Do you feel more relaxed as you turn something that might have been unsettling, causing you anxiety, tension, stress, consternation, turning that colored picture into a black and white image? In fact, if you've taken it to black and white, begin to freeze that frame. Now there's no longer movement to it. What happens if you took its sound away, any sounds that might be there? Shh. Taking a deep breath in, holding that breath in, feeling your heart relax. Bringing your attention into the place of your heart, that sacred, beautiful heart, just listening to it beat and beat and beat, beat and beat and beat. Beautiful. Taking a deep breath in, holding the breath, gently exhaling. In your mind's eye, you return to that bamboo forest, feeling lighter, even more lighter than air than you did before. And as you continue to walk, you come to a clearing in the forest. And in the center of that space, you notice a shimmering pool of water. The water is crystal clear. It seems to reflect the moonlight. The darkness of the moon even reflects in this water, as well as the stars above. These waters are ready to wash away any old residue and cleanse any road-weary midnight traveler. As you gaze into the pool, notice the reflections of the heavens sitting on the water. The shimmering light represents clarity and peace that you're experiencing now. A peace that ripples through your entire body, aligning your energy system, recalling back any energy you might have left somewhere else. This place, this clearing in the forest in front of this crystalline pool, is a place where you can be absolutely, purely you. You as your perfected self. You feel such immense peace. And you can access this feeling of peace whenever you wish by simply recalling this image. This image of the water, this pool that mesmerizes your senses. settle down by this pool of tranquility and gaze into its depths. As you look into the waters, notice any reflections, any images, any symbols that emerge. Just allow these images to guide you, perhaps to offer insights into your inner world as they ripple up through the water. Allow these images to guide you, to offer insights, to anchor you more deeply into your perfect place of peace. As you continue to look in the water's song, look a little bit deeper. The water has shown you images, patterns. Perhaps you've seen shapes. Perhaps you've heard colors. Perhaps you've sensed emotions that just, quite frankly, make you feel better. Whatever the water is giving you, look beyond that. Go deeper. See your own reflection in the pool, but not just the reflection that you might be used to seeing in a mirror. See yourself now as you truly are. See, witness, hear, smell, taste, touch this being of light, of love, that you are filled with infinite possibilities. See the eternal you. As your eyes continue to gently gaze into this pool, you feel a sense of peace, of contentment washing over you. It's all good. Everything is okay. And suddenly you remember you are not defined by your past. You are defined by your choices and your connection to limitless potential. You are your choices, and you are connected to limitless potential. As you stand from having knelt by this beautiful shimmering pool, you begin to feel lighter and more free than ever before. Lighter, lighter and lighter. So much lightness and freedom, as if you could float out of your chair. What does it feel like to levitate? As light as air, you walk through the forest and you begin to hear in the distance the sound of music and of laughter. Curiosity, joy, and a grounded peace urge you onward, where you follow the sound, and soon you emerge from the forest into a clearing where you behold a magnificent, towering pagoda. The exterior walls of this magnificent structure are adorned with gold sparkling and precious jewels shining. This is truly a place of wonder. What does your pagoda look like? What possibilities reside inside its giant wooden doors? The palace is alight with thousands of scarlet and gold-hued Asian-style lanterns. Fireworks are exploding overhead, painting the clouds with a kaleidoscope of colors, magnificent, joyous, celebratory. The colors seem to swirl around you and they begin to brighten. And just as you had taken away color from images before, now you're adding more color in. This scene becomes so luminescent. It's almost as though you're seeing colors you've never seen before. Feel that. Experience those frequencies of joy, of celebration, of new possibility. Taking a deep breath in, holding that breath in, feeling your heart relax as it actually is just overflowing with contentment, happiness, goodness. So enthused, you approach the gates of the palace, feeling a sense of excitement and anticipation, noticing all these feelings of goodness, of joy arising within you and allowing these positive motions to fill your body. It feels so good. You love this. This is great. Keep going. Add in more color, more joy. How happy can you feel right now? That smile, that beautiful smile of yours, shining so brightly. It fills the entire space. You enter the palace. You're greeted by a chorus of happy music and laughter. This happy laughter continues, and you begin just to take it all in. You're surrounded. You feel safe and warm. Your body begins to generate even more heat. This contentment, this warmth, this happiness, this joy elicits a state of satisfaction. And you join the celebration, feeling a sense of belonging and contentment, of true connection, knowing that connection without to everyone around you in the world, it actually started from within. This is your work. This is why. You shed old patterns, you let go of things that no longer serve, and you pick up greater joy, light as a feather, soft as air. You move through this space with pure contentment, with peace, with a knowingness that you belong, that you matter. You are right where you need to be right here in this moment. Taking a deep breath in, holding that breath in, feeling your heart relax. Taking a deep breath in, holding that breath in, your heart relaxes. And as you exhale, you feel the energy of a symbol of this new year, the wood snake. It seems to undulate in the air around you. The wood snake is a creature of transformation, shedding the old and revealing a new, vibrant self. Allow this same energy and vitality to infuse every cell of your being. Drinking in these frequencies, you can taste their milky, purifying, and nourishing resonances. The wood snake ushers in the frequencies of transformation through resiliency and adaptability. You feel inspired by the wood snake. And you know it's time for you to shed your old patterns once and for all, and to embrace you, your true potential. And whether you choose to shed all your old patterns right here, right now, or a little bit every day through this next year, this next lunar cycle, you know you are supported. You know you're exactly where you're supposed to be. You know you're surrounded by people who care about you. And whether you know them by name or you see them somewhere in the world, you know all is well. You show up exactly where you're supposed to in every moment of every day, welcoming in synchronicities, embracing new patterns of potential. You say yes to life. You say yes to life because your life matters. It's important. Your presence changes the world. It shapes the world. And the only person that can change and shape the outer world as uniquely as you is you. The world needs you. And that brings your heart joy. Taking a deep breath in, feeling your heart relax before you gently and softly exhale. feeling light as a feather, free as the wind. You begin to come back into this body, into your time space, your present moment. And you come back into this space only when your brain, your head, and your heart hold resonance and agree that when you open your eyes, you will feel empowered, you will feel shifted, you will feel capable, you will know that you have changed, that something is different within inside of you. Old things that had once held you back no longer hold you back. No, in fact, you are more fully the master of your ship. How you show up in the world is your choice, and you know this, and you love it, because that means that nothing can knock you off your course. Your choices are perfect, no matter how challenging or easy they seem. The results always take us to a truer, newer you. Every day in every way, you are getting better and better and better. And when you know this, when your head and your heart say yes, you begin to open your eyes, returning back into the land of this physical time-space. Taking a deep breath in, holding that breath in, your heart relaxes before you gently exhale. How are you feeling, my friends? Welcome back. Come back. Come join. Yes. You did great. That was a really interesting journey. How was that for you? What did you experience? I'd love to hear. Drop it in the chat. Like I said, if you're on Insight Timer on YouTube, I will totally be able to see that. I would love to hear that and talk about that a little bit. If you're joining us on Insight Timer, it's our first Insight Timer live. They will get better, I promise. We're so glad you're here. Thanks for being here. I won't be able to see the chat, but you know, it's good whenever like-minded people, like-minded hearts, those who want the best, not only for the world, but for themselves, for their family, for those around us. Wanting the best for yourself is not selfish. No, it's important. Because remember, our inner worlds are the reflection of the outer worlds. You want to change the outside, we got to change the inside first. It's really beautiful when all of people, no matter where you're joining us from, however you get here, when we can come together and take these moments and actually really connect and be alive and elicit some sort of change, even if it's just a moment to drink in a sip of relaxation, a sip of, oh right, life's not as hard as I thought it was. Sometimes I like to think it's really hard, but you know what, it actually isn't, because life and reality is a construction of my own making. But why would I ever choose to make it hard? That is the question. And that's a question that we get to ask ourselves every day. Why is it we struggle with the things that we struggle with? Because the reality is that it's not really there. It's not really real, which is a really mind-blowing subject. And that's not what we're here to talk about in this moment, but if we want to talk more about quantum physics and this idea of that everything that's happening around us is just a reflection of what we're perceiving in these moments, it calls to question, what are we perceiving in these moments? Knowing, of course, everyone has free will, and what you perceive will be very different sometimes than what I perceive versus what someone who really enjoys creating drama or excitement or consternation and challenge and friction. A warmonger sees the world very differently than a surgeon who sees the world very differently than a healer who sees the world very differently than a poet. Yet they all see the same world. It's a conundrum. We have to unwrap it sometime. But I don't think we have like 4 hours to do that right now, so we'll have to come back to that one. Oh, Michael, thank you so much for being here. I'm glad you were here. And Jill, of course. Beverly, I'm so glad you were joining us. Monica, nice to see you as well. I'm sure there's some names in here I might have missed as we're coming in. Amy, hello. Yes, Carolina invited you. Carolina, I'm so glad you did so. It's nice to see you. I'm glad you were here, Amy. Your first sound bath. Mitch, hello. Yes, so many beautiful bowls. There are 20 in here to be exact. Sometimes there's 19, sometimes there's 21. Depending on space, we kind of move them around. Anthony, good morning. Hello, Stephanie. Oh, thank you so much, Mitch, for your donation. I appreciate it. And friends, I appreciate your donations. That's very, very kind. It helps us continue to do what we do. I thank you for that. And if I don't mention it, sometimes they don't always indicate to us that donations have come through and we don't see it until after the live stream is over. So please know I appreciate you so deeply. We appreciate you so deeply. And if it's your first time here, when I say we, I don't mean just me, myself, and I, because sometimes I do mean that. I actually mean my adorable, darling, amazing husband, Jeremy, who is making everything happen. He's waving, and he makes all of this look good. I just sit here and bang on the bowls. I don't bang on you guys, you know that. Not my job. So thank you so much. Karen, nice to see you. Michael, you said thank you, very out of body. Yes, seem to drift in and out of consciousness. Good. Awesome. Michael, so it sounds like you're really going in between probably our theta and alpha brainwave state, which is really where we want to be, when we can slow the brainwaves down into this alpha, which is more of a meditative state, and then into theta, which is like this twilight or dreamlike state that happens right before we fall asleep, which is delta. It helps us slow down our normal brain waves, which normally we function and operate. We think we have responses. We live in the world around a beta state. So slowing into alpha takes us into this meditative state. And then into theta actually allows us to begin to work at the subconscious level. So that's such a beautiful sweet spot that we can find that allows greater change. It begins to elicit greater responses within your own bodies. Your subconscious is beginning to, you're reprogramming, you're working with your own subconscious in a really beautiful way that's right for you. Maybe different for somebody else, but it's right for you, which is so powerful. I appreciate you sharing that. I love it. Sandy with an I says, it was an adventure visiting past folks. The ocean smells, the beautiful lake, the snake, transformation, self-love, serenity in our crazy world. Love the affirmations. Magical. Oh, it's so great. I'm so glad you enjoy that, Sandy. What a beautiful experience that you shared. Thank you for sharing that. Lori, She knows we love tenant number 1 in our live streams here. Lots of emojis. Love all of your red hearts. Oh, Lori, that's great. So good. Martin, oh, it was your first session. I loved it in English. And so you listened with your heart. It's the best way to do it. Beautiful. Well done. Thank you. Thank you for joining us from the Netherlands. The best thing we can do is listen and speak with our hearts. So glad you were here. And we'll look forward to seeing you again soon. In fact, we have more live streams planned. I'll tell you about those in a minute. So hang on, stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Stephanie D'Alfonso, sounds like you're a Course in Miracles student. I'm a student of life. And A Course in Miracles is pretty amazing. Actually, I loved the time during COVID. Actually, one of the things I did during COVID was really sit with A Course in Miracles, because there is much truth within those pages. So, oh, you love the convo. Mavor. Oh, I'm not saying that right. Mavornen. I am so sorry. I butchered your name. I will try to do better. Help me understand how to say it better. Y'all know I think names are really important. There's a resonance. There's a frequency of your name that only you have. That's why it's your name. And if you love your name, you keep your name because you resonate with your name. But it's also how people can see you and associate and feel you and connect into you. So I do apologize for butchering it. Thanks for helping me do better. I'll do better next time. You love the convo. You tuned in late. Now you're following us on Insight Timer so you don't miss the next one. Amazing. I'm so glad. Thank you for following us. Yes, we love to tune in, especially when the air is really juicy, because that's when the bowls really, really like to have fun, sonically speaking. So we will be back actually on February 12th Just in time for Valentine's Day, we're going to be romancing the moon. It's a full moon series, so you're going to definitely want to be here with us. Romancing the moon on February 12th. It's a Wednesday, same bat time, same bat channel, 9 a.m. Eastern time. That's 6 a.m. Pacific time. Not sure what it is anywhere else in the world. Lots of places that do switch and that don't switch time zones, so I don't keep it in my head. I apologize. That's why I have an Apple iPhone thing app that tells me. So we'll look forward to seeing you on February 12th. Also, we'll be back then 2 days later on February 14th on Valentine's Day, not just because it's Valentine's Day, but because it is World Sound Healing Day. And we are going to be listening to the frequencies of love. I mean, what else do you listen to on Valentine's Day? So be sure to join us. I can't wait to see you there. It's going to be a really magical experience. So Carolina, oh, I'm so glad you were here. Namaste. Thank you so much to you as well. Satnam, Satnam. Kalyani, it was your first time here. Lovely. Oh, thank you. Thank you as well. And I love your emojis. Those are great. Alicia, beautiful journey this morning. Good. Oh, I'm so glad. That's great. Dana, grateful to have woken up 20 minutes ago to sip. Donna, that's right. Thank you. Thank you, Jeremy, and thank you, Donna. Squirrel. It says you were grateful to have woken up 20 minutes ago to sip in some of this. Good. I'm so glad you were able to join us. And if there's any more of that you'd like to sip in as we ring in this Lunar New Year, you can always catch the replay of this live over on YouTube. Jeremy's brilliant. We stream it on YouTube so that then it automatically uploads it over there. So you never miss a beat, never miss a moment. We love to be able to share that with you. Kalani, thank you so much for your beautiful donation. We really appreciate that. Thank you. Jane with a Y, thank you as well. Wishing you both all the goodness of the Lunar New Year. You too. Monica, thank you for your donation. That's very generous. That's very generous and kind. I pray that you will, for all the donations that come in, my prayer, my wish, my hope, my intent is that it will come back to you tenfold. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over, dude, because that's how we roll in this joint. And by this joint, I mean this world. Reality. Sometimes I think the world around us is crazy, and then I realize maybe I'm just the crazy one in the world. And so the world's actually normal, and I'm crazy. But then I think maybe I'm normal, and the world's crazy. It is a conundrum indeed. Anybody else feel me on that one? Okay. Tatiana, beautiful session of sound bath. Much love and gratitude. I'm so glad you joined us. Tatiana, it's nice to meet you. Nice to see you. Monica as well. Thank you. Great way to start your day. High five. Love that with your year of the snake and the green hearts, because that's what we think snakes are, generally. And that's the emojis that they give us for it. So that's what we use. I'm so glad you're here, lovely sister. Oh, Ariana, thank you as well. I appreciate that. Laura, you said thank you. Powerful and emotional. Wow. Flexibility and transformation is your focus right now in dealing with challenges you are facing. Thank you. Well, it looks like, Laura, you are showing up with the right spirit and the right frequencies of the year here to support you as you move through these changes and these shifts. It's all about flexibility, transformation, resiliency, that ability to adapt. You're already doing it. So this is going to be a good year for you. I hear it. It's awesome. Amy, it was your first time. So cool. Thank you for the welcome. Of course, thank you for being here. So glad that you were invited to join. Caroline and Monica, I'm so glad you invited Amy. Awesome. That's good stuff. Tanya, very exciting. I'm so glad you were here as well, Tanya. Thank you. Tanya. Beverly, thank you so much. So beautiful and powerful. Appreciate it. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, the bowls really showed up. Is that Pulp Fiction? I don't know. I'd have to ask my resident film director. I have no idea. Jackie, first time here. It was amazing joining, even if you were a bit late. No, you were at the perfect time. Always in the perfect time. Never late. Always in the perfect time. Amazing. I'm so glad you were here. You said it was such a cozy, peaceful space for us to share. Indeed. I'm so glad, Jackie. Good to meet you. Thank you for joining us. And we'll look forward to seeing you. Perhaps you'll join us on February 12th or February 14th. And of course, we're going to have more lives coming down the pike as well. Thank you so much as we moved through this new year in a new space for us. You're like, looks exactly like the same space. It doesn't look any new at all. It's totally different for us. So it's great. We have more space. We have more opportunity to show up in different ways, and also of how the bowls will speak. y'all know that the bowls choose to speak differently based on what it is that we're doing. We were recording tracks earlier this week, and the bowls speak very differently than when they show up with you, when they're hanging out with their friends, their peeps. So thank you as we walked that journey, that path for us today too. We appreciate it. Carolina, did I feel as if you played the bowls with a Chinese spin? Yes, actually, a beautiful recognition. So we had 2 different pentatonic scales that we tapped into. This is a very well-known pentatonic scale. Another one. Jeremy, can you pull that up for me, please? I just want to make sure I'm quoting it correctly, because they actually have 2 different names. He's pulling something up for me, so the first one that I just... So this is actually the pentatonic 4. So there's 5 different pentatonic scales that we can use. But the cool thing about it is in Asian music, this actually is frequently used in Japanese songs, and it's most often played by Buddhist monks on their wooden flutes, because the scale has been shown to elicit deeper states of relaxation. We actually used this particular scale in a pilot study that we completed last year. We had partnered with Garmin and some other big companies, and we were studying the effects of different musical scales on brain waves as well as levels of stress in the body. The interesting thing about this pattern is that so the Buddhist monks use this particular scale, which is just a combination of notes, these particular 5 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That they use this particular scale because it helps them relax, and it takes them into a very deep and meditative state. Well, interestingly, what we found is that people who listen to this scale, their heart rate naturally slows, as does their respiration rate. What's interesting as well is that when I was playing these scales during the study, my heart rate went down. Which, if you think about, that's actually very counterintuitive, because I'm performing an activity with my arms, so it's near my heart, and it would naturally increase my heart rate. But as soon as I play this scale, my heart rate went down by like 12 points, something crazy. I mean, it was shocking how much it went down. So it's a very meditative and calming combination of notes. So that was one of the scales that we connected to today. Another scale that we connected to is Hirajoshi, which is and that has more of an enlivening. It kind of moves the energy up and through, and you really can feel it in your face, actually. And so this scale I chose because it taps into that more of a kind of a movement, like a watery kind of movement, which is interesting because I also read that whenever you combine the energy of the snake and the energy of the wood, it actually has a very water-like movement, which I thought was kind of interesting. So everything that we do is very specifically thought through and curated, because it all matters. You know, it's one thing to do something willy-nilly. It's another thing to do something when you're improvising and you're in the flow and it's things happen magically, 100%. But there's also something whenever we can purposefully move with information that actually empowers not only whatever it is that we're doing, especially when you have so many things happening all at once. I mean, I'm sitting here, I'm speaking to you, I'm making sure that I'm moving through with great, with evocative imagery that helps you as you move through mentally. But I'm also playing notes, different notes with 2 different hands at different times, at different tempos, making sure that they resound and resonate perfectly. I'm listening to my voice and tempo in relation to the bowls, like there's lights and cameras and everything happening. But it's what we do. So sometimes, especially in those circumstances, I like to be as prepared as possible so that I can show up for you that helps you in a really beautiful way. Now, there's other times that we just want to improvise and see what happens. And if you'd like a really cool example of that, I'd love for you, actually pop over to YouTube. We released a brand new video. Jeremy, do you have the image of it? Okay, so it's called Serpentine Chi. And it's a brand new music video that we made, that it combines these two same scales, and it was totally improvised, one take, but it has all of the sounds of ancient mystical Asian lands. Beautiful imagery that Jeremy put together, and it invites us into this movement of energy through these energetic portals of sorts. It's about 4 minutes long. If you ever want to reset, this is a great track that you can just turn on and reset. And it also, not only does it calm, it begins to enliven as well. And let's just say, especially in the afternoon, who doesn't want to calm and re-enliven? Don't reach for a cup of coffee. Turn on this track and play its frequencies. You'll feel a lot better. At least that's what folks tell us. So sometimes we want to improvise, and sometimes we want to be very planned. So I appreciate you asking about the session for today, because it was very much curated and cultivated in a way that would hopefully bring about the most potential for benefit for you guys. Because let's just face it, it's about y'all. It's not about me. It's not about us. This is for you. So I want to make sure I do my job. So Jackie, yes, woohoo! Carolina, bingo, love it. Stephanie, is your new space because you moved? No, we just added a different space. Jeremy is adding different stuff, and you should see back there. So we can expand out our production possibilities, and so he needs more space to do that. So he has more space right now. So we're just at a different location. We didn't move our house or anything, but just at a different space. It gives us more of that depth and presence. So Jill, thank you so much for being here. My friends, it is always good to be here with you. I'm so glad you were here. I appreciate you being here. And I hope that you celebrate a magnificent new year, whether it's a new year of January 1st or a new year of the solar new year or a new year of the lunar new year today, January 29th. Celebrate. Embrace this new time of transformation. You are resilient. You are capable. And you know what? All is well. I look forward to seeing you soon. And until then, be well. Sat Nam.